Hello and welcome to Big Bore Knife and Gear. Today on the channel we have a custom fixed blade from my brother Jay Capinetti. He owns Caps Cutlery out of Napa. He sent me this about 6 weeks ago or so, but quite a few months ago he said he was going to be making a prototype, a fixed blade prototype for EDC use, and asked if I'd be willing to test it out and give my feedback. I said, of course. So he sent it. Nitro V steel. It's got beautiful burlap micarta as well as some G-Carta liners. As you can see here, date of birth was February. The model is yet to be determined. It's just EDC prototype. I sent this knife once I first got it to my buddy Joe at Lancelot Leather and had him make a sheath for me. So let's get into this. We'll start with the sheath real quick. Joe just nailed this thing. I told him I wanted to be able to scout carry, vertical carry, and pocket carry this knife. Jay's main thing for this was something that could be pocketable as an everyday carry fixed blade. So this is what Joe came up with. A couple different ways. He's got this beautiful piece here that you can put on either side. In fact, there's two of them. And you can run a belt loop through this way for scout carry when it's on this side. You can run it this way, as you can see, for vertical carry. And then came with a pocket clip too that you attach to run in your pocket. So I've spent most of the carry in pocket. I did carry it a few times. Scout carry, which I took off and just basically pocketed it the rest of the time. He's got straps that go on here for scout carry, or again, another piece that goes back here that you can scout or vertical carry with. Very, very well thought out. Fantastic sheath. Man, that guy does some quality work. Let's get into this beautiful, beautiful fixed blade knife. I haven't really EDC'd a fixed blade. I carry a fixed blade when I go camping and hunting, but I never really EDC'd a fixed blade. I've always been more into folders. Let me tell you, this is probably the perfect size for EDC. When in pocket, this slips completely into my front right pocket. I've got this much of the handle sticking out of my pocket. Easy access, comes right out. Fantastic job again, Joe. Nailed it. Nailed it, nailed it. Ergonomics on this guy are fantastic. If you can see here in my extra large size hands, I get 3 fingers and my pinky just kind of lands behind the handle here. Even with that said, this feels just outstanding in hand. This micarta is done beautifully, beautifully polished, mosaic pins. The liners, the way my thumb lands perfectly in the little groove here, it was a joy to use. I've used the crap out of this thing. I don't know if the lighting is going to pick it up because it's got a pretty good satined, almost polish to it. I've scratched it up a little bit, dinged it up a little bit. I have not sharpened it. I've only used a strop. I've cut a ton of cardboard, rope, garden hose. When I was up in the hills 3 weeks ago, I feather sticked a crap ton of pine. I was batoning through 1 inch and 1.5 inch pine branches. Whatever I put to with this task-wise, it just worked, and it worked very well. Super, super grind job on this. Almost a full flat grind. This thing is still screaming sharp. If you can see here, it just has a laser edge. I did ding the edge a little bit right here. Let me see if I've got some paper close by. This thing is still, let's see here. I think it'll still, yeah, oh yeah, this thing is still razor blade sharp. Again, I haven't sharpened it, I've just stropped it. Outstanding job, Jay. I don't really have any complaints. No issues, I should say. For me, in my size hands, I think if he's going to bring this into fruition as a permanent model in his lineup, I think I would maybe move the pin and put a lanyard hole back here, because for me, just a short lanyard on here would give me a lot better purchase on the knife without having to really kind of choke up here, and to get it in and out of pocket a little bit easier, because the sheath does cover a good portion of the handle. That little bit of lanyard on there would make it just a tad bit easier to get in and out of pocket. Scout carry, no issue at all. Everything's wide open, you just reach and grab. When it's in the pocket, you know, now you're dealing with a little bit limited space because your hand's in your pocket, but a little lanyard on there for me, my size hands, would be perfect. The micarta is outstanding. This has broke in a little bit. It was just super polished, but after use it's not quite as polished. But I think I would maybe prefer not so polished to maybe almost like a blasted, textured for grip. And I only say that because when your hands are sweating, especially this time of the year, it's 100 plus now where I live, this can get a little bit slick in hand. But yeah, outstanding job. Let's get some specs on this. The blade on this is just shy of 3 inches. It's like 2 15/16, so we'll just call it 3 for shits and giggles. 3-inch blade with 2 3/4 inch cutting edge. Overall length on this guy is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 inches. You're going to have 1, 2, basically 3, just over 3 inches of grip area. For me, my pinky rides right back here. Yeah. Super ergonomic. There's his logo. Just an outstanding job. Again, he's just calling it the EDC prototype. And when I'm done filming this, I'm going to get back on the horn with him and tell him he needs to just proceed with putting this in the lineup. Look at that polish. It is just gorgeous. Outstanding job, Jay. Really. True craftsman. 2 American craftsmen. Just outstanding. I'm trying to get him to maybe hook up with Joe at Lancelot for custom sheaths to be made with each knife that's purchased. Just outstanding. Even though it's still pretty much razor sharp, when I first got this, it was extremely sharp. And let's see if we can get this to focus. If you can see in there, the first few times in and out of sheath, it took a few times to get it. What's the word I'm looking for? Oriented, I guess, correctly. And I did slice the sheath a couple of times, but hasn't integrally hasn't messed with the sheath at all. Just put a couple marks in there. Retention, fantastic. Just a bang up job. Yeah. And if you guys hadn't noticed, these are Chicago screws, so you can remove these. You can put the straps on. You can take it all off and just leave the clip on. Yeah. Bang up job. Let's see if I can get that to show the scratches that I've put in this thing. It makes me almost sad because it's such a beautiful knife that I've scratched it up, but hey, what the hell? That's what it's for, right? Yeah. Blade stock thickness. You know what? I never measured that. Give me a second, folks. All right, we got the trusty handy dandy calipers here. Let's get a measurement. So we're running at, well, basically we'll call it 135 thousandths. Let's see if I can attempt to do this on camera and get a behind the edge thickness here. So we are running, if you can see that, 16 thousandths behind the edge. Let's get a weight on this guy. .28 ounces. Jay, if you're watching, buddy, bang up job. I absolutely love this thing. You 100% should put this into your lineup. By the way, guys, please check him out. I'll leave his Instagram link in the description, as well as Joe's. He does outstanding kitchen cutlery. He does have a couple other fixed blade hunting style knives, if you want to call it that. Multi-use knives. God, look at that swedge. Just outstanding work. Outstanding work. Yeah. God, that's beautiful. Anyhow, that's all I have for today, folks. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment because I love the feedback. And until next time, take care.